welcome to One Date to Love. Today, my guests are Don Diamont and his wife, Cindy Ambuehl Diamont. I'm so excited to have them. Hi!
We're excited to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. I
Thank you.
really am so happy to have you. I mean, I've watched you on television forever, and I watched that show, so I really do watch it, and I think you're fantastic.
Well, thank you. I
You
appreciate
know,
that.
you've done a great job on there. You must have he must have girls coming out his ears.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
I only have one girl coming out.
I know.
One that matters.
You wouldn't believe how incredible he is with you, with talking to me. He gives you so much credit for everything. I had another couple on earlier, Frank and his wife, and Decopoulos, and his wife, Taya Anderson. And Sean does the same thing. Sean Kanan does the same thing. He gives his wife so much credit, Michelle, for so
We're
many.
all smart.
You are so smart.
Happy
Oh
wife,
my
happy
God.
life.
The three of you ought to get together and write a book about how to keep your wife happy. Happy wife, happy life, right? I'm serious. I mean, it's amazing to me because it's so it's kind of unusual, especially for actors or strong men. Sometimes they just kind of forget how much they get from you.
It's true.
You know?
It's true.
She is my and our family's rock.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Somebody was telling me that they thought your relationship was old-fashioned or normal. Cindy Gross. She said, they're normal. And I said, what is
Described us
what
as
is
normal or them
normal?
themselves?
I said, they've got seven
No,
kids.
I would absolutely
You've
agree
got
with
six
that.
Or described
boys.
us as normal.
I would absolutely agree with that.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
You've got six boys
Yes.
and another one?
We have 6 boys. We have a grandson on the way.
Right, okay.
And we have 2 daughters-in-law.
Oh, Dad, the daughters-in-law, I want to hear about that.
Yeah.
The fact that you're getting some of these
Getting some girls.
kids
About to
married
have
off.
a daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
She counts.
Yeah.
She counts already.
Yeah,
she
for
already
sure.
counts. Wow.
She's been around for 5 years, and she's
That's a long
right.
time.
amazing.
She gets a daughter-in-law
She
credit.
gets props.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're
So
engaged, that's why.
which boy has her?
Has
The-
the baby coming?
The one that you think has been around for
The eldest,
And what's his name?
Lauren.
Lauren.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's
His fiance is Nicole.
Yeah, and they're great.
So you're
And
into
then
this.
Alexander, the 28-year-old, who'll be 29 in February, also has our first grandson coming.
Married
Wow.
Married a year and a half. We threw the
Wow.
wedding.
Do
Had
you
a
have
really
any for
good
my
time.
girls? I mean, I'm sure they're really gorgeous boys. I mean, I have a 24-year-old now and 25-year-old.
Well, we have twins that are 21. Well, they'll be 21 next week.
Okay, we'll have to take a look. We'll have to take a
We'll
look.
have to-
I'll
we'll have
send
to
you my
talk- we'll have to
photos.
talk
And
after,
yeah,
yeah.
that sounds like a good idea. Now went to college?
Yeah.
No wonder you work so hard, honey.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, 3 of them got scholarships, football scholarships.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
Thank goodness.
That's cool. My
Yeah.
daughter went to SMU. I'm going to be paying for that until I die. And after, probably, if there is such a thing. I think you get out of taxes and debt. That's the only thing you have to do. But I don't think you get out of college no matter what happens.
I don't think you do either.
Yeah. But my husband and I went down there to help her find the school. And we were so impressed with the morals of the kids in Texas, to be honest.
Sure.
And some of the positions that they have on different things that he just said, she can go here. And I was like, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. But I'm glad that she...
But with the daughter, it's so important. I mean, it's important with sons as well, that they're placed in an environment where they're going to thrive.
Right.
But with a daughter, I mean, it really matters that they're surrounded by people that you feel she's going to be safe, looked out after. We always say, if we had a daughter, we don't know what we would do. Now that we've raised all these boys,
I would be Ray Donovan.
yeah.
Your baseball bat.
Yeah, I
I
would
watched
hire
some of these girls dress too, and he would be like, "You are not leaving this house."
I
It'd be-
know.
So in that way, yeah, we are old-fashioned. in that
Yeah,
way.
I am too. I am too. My kids have class, and they're good people, and they're very family-oriented people, and
Nice.
they click with their friends, and they stay friends with their friends, and they make time for their friends. And, that says a lot to me.
That says a lot.
Yeah, Ed and I had long-term friends, and I still do. So, yeah, I think that's really incredibly important. So, tell me what's going on Bold and the Beautiful that you're allowed to share.
I'm allowed to share. Bill has entered into a romance with, it was a one-nighter from his past, but a very intense,
Unforgettable night of
intense
love.
intense
There you go.
experience. And well, she has come back into his life, and
Is this an actress I know?
I don't think her name is Romy Park.
No,
You
I
may
don't.
or may not know
Yeah.
her, but she's doing a wonderful job. She's
Awesome.
terrific person, terrific actress, and yeah, this is going to create some complications. I have no doubt.
Well, that's what it's all about,
That's what we
right?
do.
Can't have soap without
That's
some
what we
drama.
do.
That's right.
That's what we
And
do.
did you go to Italy and get bombarded like so many of us? We're big in Italy.
Yes.
Even I'm big in Italy from a show I did the early 80s, Capital.
Huge.
Wow. Yeah. B&B is still.
I
It's an
know.
iconic show there.
I know.
And and what's amazing about it, I did Ballando con le Stelle, which is Dancing with the Stars, Italy.
I
And
bet that was fun.
it was a lot. It was fun. It was a lot of work. It was fun though, but a lot of work. And
It was an
I
accomplishment.
had to
for
fly
you.
back and forth because I was in pretty heavy story. I was in very actually heavy story at that time. It
No
was crazy.
way. That's so hard
It
to
was
do.
great. But the point of that is I was just amazed by how generational it is. I mean, still teenagers in groups running up to me, which is amazing. I mean, it really is passed on. So you have the nonas, the grandmothers, all the way down to
That's
to
how it
these
was in my
teenagers, to
family.
these children, and male and female. It's just amazing.
My
So, yeah.
grandmother watched General Hospital. My mother watched all the ones on CBS, so I did too. So I started watching On the Restless when it was first on, when we had the original snap. Yeah, I really loved it. I really loved it. Jamie was on. Jamie Bauer, I think is her name. Wonderful, wonderful. I've just so many good actors, and then they went on to do other things, and then they had new people. But it's still got some of the old people that were there.
Oh yeah,
You
many.
know, and I think that's really important
Many.
to people, to see people that they
You bet.
recognize. You know?
That's what we yeah.
So many of these shows I've turned on, I don't even know who these people are. Like for 10 or 15 minutes, I don't know who anybody is.
It's really a familial experience for fans.
I don't
you
like it
really
when I don't
do.
know who the people
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
For like
I
10
think
or
everyone feels
15
that way.
minutes, you know, except the people that hire the people. They don't seem to care. And they do on your show, they do. But on a lot of them, they
I think
haven't.
Brad has done a really good job.
Me too. The
keeping
show
a
still
lot of
looks the same.
recognizable
You got
cast,
a
but
few people,
infusing the new people.
right? But
in.
it's really, some of these they just don't. They just don't have that. And so I'm glad for you guys. And I love your all show. You know,
Thank you.
I think it's fantastic, and I think it's fun. I like all the fashion. And Kimberlyn lived with me when she first went back.
Oh, really?
She was my roommate in LA, and that was just a couple of years ago. And I would say, "Can I run lines with you? I'll be happy to run lines with you." And she'd be like, "No, I got it." I was like, "That's so weird. Why does she think?" And then I'd say, "Well, you know,
I can do this.
we were
can do
nominated
this.
together in 1994. We were Best
Yeah.
Actress, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
She goes, "Well, I'm just not really allowed to have anybody see the script."
Interesting.
So then I said, "Do you really think I care?" Which is,
Yeah, right? Right? Who am I going to tell?
I mean, I'm a professional. I don't do that.
Well, if she studied those lines all by herself,
yes, she
she
did.
did an amazing job
She
because she's very, very good
I
at
know.
what she does.
I know. We both
she's
play
been killing it.
terrible
Yeah.
people. We do it so well. You know, it's our
that's the
favorite thing to
fun.
do. Yeah, it is the fun. You get all that out. So then you could be a nice person the rest of the time in your life. You know, it's a nice thing. I'm really interested in this blended family thing because when I got married, I'd never been married before, and I was 37. And my husband died 5 years ago, which is really sad.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too. And so one of the things one of the reasons I wanted to do this show is because so many funny things have happened to me as a result of being on these apps. I mean, these apps
Dating it.
today
I assumed.
are just like ridiculous. And my sister is going to be here later. She met her fiance on Millionaire Match. And so she told them about me and they asked me to be on there. So I'm on there and, you know, hardly anybody's a millionaire. But
In their own mind.
Dollar match?
To this,
dollar match.
it's like this. If you have a house at all, at all.
Yeah.
And a 401k at all.
You're a millionaire.
Yeah.
You're a millionaire, which doesn't take you too far
No.
anymore. So they should have multi-millionaire match. But they don't. They don't.
No.
So anyway, so I didn't go on it for that reason. I just wanted to find somebody that would be. I thought that somebody that was more economically there would have good manners, would have, would be honest, would be. I was wrong on many levels. I was wrong. So I came up with some really funny scenes and scenarios that I thought would be really fun for a sitcom, because I really thought my life was a sitcom, and at the same time, I thought it might be even more fun to find out what people that are happy are doing to stay happy, and what are their struggles and how are they getting through them, and especially in a situation like this with this guy, and you've got 12,000 women that are going, not that you're the Beatles, but so I just think it's funny that you don't have any problems with that. My husband was on the other, the shoe was on the other foot in that relationship, and I just told him, I said, I'm never with anybody that I find attractive, and I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Tom Christopher as a human being, but there was more of a friendship than anything else. And then the other person I worked with, I liked very much as a person, but he was about 40 years older than I was. So they won't put me with anybody that I can get in trouble with.
What fun is it?
I know, but they just won't do it. Just doesn't happen.
It doesn't have any significance to me. I mean, doing this a long.
Yeah, me too. That's what I told him.
time,
I told him.
and I have the greatest wife in the world.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
It's almost like
It's a non-issue. There's
you
not
turn
even
into a
anything-
different
See,
person.
that is why I don't have a problem with it.
I know that. That's right.
Because I know my husband.
Yeah.
I know what we have.
Yeah.
And I was actually with Luca yesterday, our son who flew back this morning, and we had a conversation about how much we like his new girlfriend.
That's
and
so nice.
I see it's bringing out the best in him and the whole thing. And I said, it's like your dad and I said, we are built on trust. We don't keep secrets from each other. We don't lie to each other. We trust he can pick up my phone and go through it anytime, which he has, because he's planned a surprise party for me before and had to go through. There's nothing to hide. It is just pure truth and trust.
I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, and so he goes to work and he has a
I
job.
wouldn't do anything to compromise.
Of
No,
course.
my marriage.
But so
Of
he goes to
course.
work and he does his
Oh, I
job,
get that from
and he
you.
does it well. And I know he comes home to me, and I know there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
And
Tell you a funny story. When the boys were younger,
I knew
Okay.
you were going to just.
I want to hear. I want to
the
hear.
boys were younger, whatever love scenes I had to do. So she enjoyed
some in-depth love scenes,
Yeah,
Okay.
as you know on a
it
soap.
was a,
Yeah.
pretty intense love scene.
Yeah.
So the boys are all, and I knew she was going to do this, right? Because she likes to freeze, like she would freeze it on the kiss. Like she'd freeze
You
it.
did?
She goes, look, guys,
We have
mommy goes to work and has to do her 24/7 real estate. When daddy goes to work, this is what.
Just frame it.
Yeah.
It's right in the middle of a passionate kiss.
So I knew she was going to do this. When the kids got home, that she was going to.
Yeah.
I'm going to show this to Ken. I'm
See
gonna
how
show-
hard he's working.
So I had
Yeah.
already trained the boys.
Look what he did.
I set her up with these. They were little. At the time.
Little.
So she does this, and after she says, "So what do you guys think? Huh? This is what Daddy goes to work."
Well, no.
And-
So you walk in from work. He
Yeah.
walks in, and I have it frozen, and they're all on the sofa, and I'm joking, right? But I'm like this. I said, "So, the boys and I want to know how your day at work was."
How was
And
your
I
day?
was just
Because my day was this, and this is
because
what Daddy
I did
is. What
it,
you
but
do.
this is what you're and
So the boys
all ready for
all,
it, and I didn't
all
know.
set up. I turn and go, "Mommy, a brother got to get paid."
And they were 5,
Oh,
6.
so cute.
Mommy, a brother's got to get
Get
paid.
paid. It was really cute.
And I look at them.
Like,
and,
what?
did you say? He hits the floor laughing. I haven't,
That's
I haven't
hilarious.
freeze framed a kiss since.
Oh, that's so good. That's so
We
good.
have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be fun to go to some football games. I'd love to know when
Oh.
they're.
Oh, we do a lot. We have done a lot of that for many years.
I'm a big
Many
football
years.
fan.
Are you?
Oh my God,
College
you can't
or pro?
believe.
Both?
Pro mostly, college some. But I just love football. My daddy was a football coach.
Oh, wow.
When I was 3 years old, I was the mascot. They used to hold me up in the air. And then he became, a doctor. But my real memories of loving football were on the field with the cheerleaders. I was the mascot with them, and I loved it. And then he would have all the boys over, and they'd sit around the living room, and we always had college kids over or high school kids over from my dad.
They all come to
I don't know how many. I really don't. I've totally lost track how many years it's been that we are gone. Well, I mean, there was first the whole high school, of course. Well, I mean, they played their whole lives.
Yeah.
Alexander's almost 29, and
Yeah.
since he was 5, he's been playing, right?
Right, but I mean, college-wise, I mean, we did all
He
through all the
went to
Pop Warner, all the high school. I mean,
2013.
college-wise, we've been gone
Every August through December since
like
2013.
last weekend of August or first weekend of September through the last weekend of
10 years.
November, and then if
10
there's
years.
a bowl game, then we got.
That's great.
So,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
That's great. Well,
It's exhausting.
I'm from Baltimore too. That's where
Yeah.
I actually went to school and college and stuff. So
Great.
I'm very excited about the Ravens.
So I was going to say, so I'm a Raven fan.
I'm very excited about that. But I was a football fan, like I said, when I was little, and I would be watching the Dolphins, and my dad would say, "Why are you watching the Dolphins?" And I said, "Because I like him. I like Dan Marino."
Dan Marino.
And then I think
was
I
a
watched
big
it.
Dan Marino
Yeah, I
fan.
loved him. And then San Francisco 49ers. Why are you watching
Sure.
the San Francisco 49ers?
Joe
Oh,
Montana.
Joe Montana. And so one time I wrote a video because we had those VHS tapes. And I wrote a story about that called Love That Football, The Football Widow's Cure, a way to have romantic Sunday afternoons and Monday nights with your mate.
Oh, I love that.
And we only had football on Monday nights and Sundays.
Sunday, Monday night.
So I sang the national anthem at the quarterback club dinner in D.C. because people finally find out that I love to do this. They set things up like that. And I met Boomer Esiason, and I had lived in Cincinnati for 5 minutes. So I talked to him, and I said, I've got this thing. And he said, I'll sit down and talk to you about that. I said, great. I want all the hot quarterbacks to explain to all the women at home what all the players do in all these different positions. He said, I think that's a wonderful idea, actually. So I sat and talked to him. He said, you're going to have to meet Frank Vuno. And I said, great. So he set that up. I met with Frank. I got past that. Then I went to Steve Sabol. And then Steve Sabol said, you can't do this. I said, why? He goes, I think we've done something like this before. I said, no, you haven't. He said, well, I think Marriott Hartley and Cher did something for us. And, and I said, no, they didn't do the same thing, but he wouldn't let me do it because they own all the NFL, every uniform,
NFL
every
films,
name, everything.
yeah.
You forget about it. Yeah. So, but that was I loved that idea so much.
Great idea.
But I really came up with that because I was the girl in Connecticut with the fireplace in the house. And all my friends would come over, and I was single, and we'd all watch football together all the time. Big fire. Yeah, I love that. So, they would say, well, what's he doing? And what's he doing? And what's a nickel defense? Or what's a nickel offense? Or what's better? And I'm like, well, this is what they're doing. And this is, and this formation and that formation. And
Coach's daughter.
yeah, I loved it. I really did. So I still do. Now I live in Palm Desert, and I've never liked hockey. And we have a killer hockey team. It's the hockey team.
Palm Desert?
Palm Desert, Coachella Valley Firebirds. They're the feeder team for the Seattle Kraken.
Ah, okay.
And you've never seen a community come together.
Wow, that's amazing.
I love that.
The community's coming together like you can't believe.
Well, Vegas is huge. For
Yeah.
The Knights, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but this
Palm
we
Desert.
won.
No.
We won last year. First year out, we won the
Vegas,
championship.
the Vegas has won a couple times.
Yeah, well, this is the Coachella Valley Firebirds, and it's really, really fun, and I really, really like it. So, but all those men are too old for me, or young for me, excuse me. Anyway, I loved having you here, and I'm so grateful that Kimberlyn was able to put this together for us.
Us
And
too.
Oh,
I truly think you're going to be an inspiration to a lot of people. I really do. There's so many beautiful things about your relationship, about your children, about your love for one another, about your support of her, making sure everybody knows.
luckiest man alive.
And that's the right thing to say. I do think you should look into Sean and Frank and write that book about how to make that woman the most important person in your life. And you already know. So that'd be a quick quick
It would
book
be
for
so
you.
easy for you to write.
Yeah, it would. It would.
You would just write it from the heart.
Exactly. And that's how they are too.
Yeah.
I really think that would be a hit. If it is, I get 10%. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being with us. We'll be right back.